stars are in.
I'm down.
And then I think we should promise those that were engaged with the anime debate. Let's finish the anime debate next week.
I'm down with that. Let's do that. We'll do the.
Okay. So let's start.
Are you keeping tabs, or am I? Should I keep tabs?
No, I'll keep tabs of this. I'll remember.
All right.
Okay. So same rules as last time. This is a battle taking place on the ice. So remember, these are a team composed of your mascots. So we are dealing with 6-on-6, spaced as they would be in a normal hockey ice rink. Okay. So we're going to start with your boys' division. And actually, I'm just going to go right down the current rankings. But because I want the Stars to be last I want you to think about it and stew about it for a bit. We're going to start at the bottom with the lowly Chicago Blackhawks against the Nashville Predators.
So, what's the Predator mascot?
Yeah. So I was going to say, if you need help, say the word. It's okay. There's no shame in not knowing these if you're not a hockey fan. So the Predators mascot is a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope looking. I think it's for me. This doesn't seem like much of a I'm sure a Blackhawk is a very fearsome warrior, but it's still a person, and a saber-toothed tiger is gonna probably wreck him.
Oh, it's a person? I thought it was a fucking bird. I thought it was a hawk.
Okay. So the Washington, what are they now? Commanders, former Can you picture the old mascot?
Yeah, so it's a Black Hawk Redskin?
Yeah. It's the exact same logo, just for some reason they got away with it longer.
Okay.
But regardless, I think the Predators wreck that.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, Sabretooth wins out. I watched Ice Age, Sabretooth wins.
I mean, also, again, we have the added caveat of this is now on ice. So you've got to think about balance.
On ice and enclosed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, six Predators are winning.
All right, so the Preds are moving on. This next one, this is also fun. So we have the Utah Hockey Club, the newest team in hockey. So this is an expansion franchise. They have yet to, I think, if we revisited this down the road, because they're supposed to select a mascot, an official mascot, this season. And they were letting the people of Utah kind of vote on it. One of the top contenders is a Yeti, by the way. So that would be dope. But right now they're hockey club. So it's just a bunch of guys that play hockey. So,
okay.
Athletic lads. But unfortunately for them, their draw today is the Minnesota Wild. And the Wild mascot is a fucking bear. It's a big-ass grizzly. So I think this is yet another case where I'm sorry, humans. You're not going to do too well against bears on the ice.
It's true. 6 bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has been 2 easy wins. Now, this is going to be the hardest one, I think, because this is we're going to have to really flex our artistic muscle thinking about this. We now have the St. Louis Blues, which is music blues.
Okay.
Against the Colorado Avalanche. So we have music versus a force of nature.
So I hear blues and I think of Mashed Potato Johnson from Metalocalypse. And he had to teach the band Death Clock how to play the blues. And he was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think 6 Mashed Potato Johnsons can survive 1 avalanche, much less 6.
See, the other thing about the avalanche is how do you determine when something like an avalanche has lost? Is it
a survivor after one's finished?
So are we saying the avalanche has murdered or drown out the sound of music before the snow melts?
Okay, if we're going that way, if we're going esoteric, avalanches win 1,000%. You ain't getting some nice tasty ass guitar licks, pentatonic guitar licks, or fucking some nice brass to go over a sheet of fucking snow if you're covered. But if we want to say where somebody survives an avalanche, And this blues musician, if 6 of them live, 6 avalanches, like, okay.
But again, we're on an ice rink. So what are the odds a human lives an avalanche when they only have half an ice rink to escape on? I think the avalanche win.
Yeah, I don't see. And then even at that, if we want to go like not a force of nature, right? If we just want to go like a Chevy avalanche, 6 Chevy avalanches are killing six blues players easy.
But again, if we're going Chevy avalanches, no one driving it. So they're just parked.
Shit.
And then the blues players are just going to slowly serenade them to death.
But that does mean that they're going to outlive the blues musicians, though, right? If they're just not moving.
Okay, now to be fair, the avalanche logo is clearly like the snow avalanche.
All right, fine.
So I think they have to move on. All right. So the final one in.
So here's this. Like, survival rates in avalanche incidents vary significantly based on the duration of burial. According to studies, the chances of survival decrease rapidly with time. For instance, if an avalanche victim is rescued within 15 minutes, the survival rate is approximately 92%. However, this rate drops to about 37% after 35 minutes of burial. For burials lasting over an hour, the survival probability is much lower, which only a slight decrease observed between 60 minutes and 1,400 minutes, ranging from 23 to less than 6.
Okay.
How long is a hockey game?
So it's 3 20-minute periods, but from actual time, we're probably looking at 2.5 hours.
Yeah, they're dead.
They're dead. So avalanche, move on.
Yep.
Okay. So that brings us to your boys, the Dallas Stars against the Winnipeg Jets. Which honestly, this is brutal because I don't think either. Okay. All right. So we have an inanimate object again in the Jets. Because it's literally like same as the football Jets, just like a plane, like a fighter jet. Albeit with a better logo because it's a cool leaf. But still, just a jet. And then we have the Dallas Stars, which are literally stars. Because they, I don't know if you're aware, they used to be the Minnesota North Stars before they moved to Dallas. So it's slightly.
So we're talking about just a giant fireball from
it's
space?
The stars. It's just the stars, right? Because if you put that inside of a hockey rink, obviously the Jets are immediately like vaporized. Oh shit! I think based on this logic, the Stars are going to have a pretty easy time in this one.
Yeah. To have 6 stars.
You have 6 stars in a hockey rink somehow. Oh shit! Yeah, Dallas is moving on for sure. Oh boy, yeah, this is going to be fun for the. I can't see. All right, this will be a fun mental gymnastics project for the next time we revisit this. But yeah, the Stars are for sure moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that brings us to my lads in their division. All right, so we're also going to go in reverse order for standings. So first we have the Boston Bruins against the Buffalo Sabres. So we have a bear again against the Sabres, which are like, so their mascot's a little confusing because it's a buffalo, but it's also like sabers, like Perrier, touche, like sabers, like swords. So I'm gonna pretend it's like buffaloes that somehow have swords against bears.
So buffaloes can't hold swords; they got hooves. So already they're at a disadvantage. Now, can a buffalo kill a bear?
Probably not.
I think bears win.
I think bears win. Oh, that hurts to say the Bruins win. Ugh, gross. Yeah, but they do. Let's be honest. Bruins moving on.
So okay, put this in American football terms. What are the Bruins?
Okay, so all right. The reason I hate the Bruins so much, they're like the Habs' arch nemesis.
Oh, they're the Ravens.
Yeah, they're the Ravens to the Bengals. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, they're more like the Steelers to the Bengals. They're more the Browns to the Bengals. Oh. But here's the thing about hockey history. hockey has a thing called the Original Six. There's a couple of teams that have been around since the beginning. So, like, the Habs are a 1909 team. So this is a franchise well over 100 years old. Boston Bruins are also an Original Six team. So from the onset of the NHL, they have been competing against each other. The Habs by far have the most Stanley Cups. They won 24. So, like, no one else is even close. But over the years, some of their best matchups, especially in the playoffs, 70s, 80s, even now, moving forward, are against the Bruins. So, like, these teams hate each other.
So it's like Dallas Redskins.
Yes.
Cowboys Redskins.
For you, that's the equivalency.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
Easy, okay.
But and much like Dallas and the Redskins, like, they're both accomplished teams. Like, these are both teams that have cups, right? So they're winning franchises, and, like, anytime you ever see, like, hockey things like rank greatest rivalries, it's like that is the number one in hockey, bar none. Like, they hate each other. You could have one of them having a terrible season, like a dog shit season, and the other one, like, leading the league, and it's still going to be a damn good game because they hate each other that much.
Yeah. I remember this so much times, like, again, because I told you, my dad, diehard Cowboys fan. Cowboys are losing, I'm not coming home, straight up, because my dad's going to be kind of drunk and pissed off. And you're going to go home. Right?
Yeah.
My uncle, his closest brother, where they're like two peas in a pod, thick as thieves kind of thing, diehard Redskins fan. So it was a couple of the things from, like, Redskins were like 0-9, 0-8 and shit, but yet they're still, like, neck and neck with the Cowboys. Even when the Cowboys were, like, going to the playoffs kind of thing. So it was always one of those things. So it was always fun to get, or it would be like the end of the season, it would be like 1 in whatever, right? So it would be like 1-10 close to the end of the season, be like 1-9, and the only game the Redskins won was against the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems right, though. Just one of those things. Some teams just play better against other teams. All right.
That's how I felt like every time the Cowboys, even when they were doing good, when they went up against the Giants, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, it's just like Giants are built as, like, Cowboy killers.
Like, objectively, not like genuinely, even if I'm putting my own biases aside, our two teams are in the most competitive divisions in football.
Mm-hmm.
Like, NFC East and AFC North, like, those, like, teams hate each other, like, way more than any other divisions.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of any other things where, like, every year, like, the cellar dweller is going to put up a good fight against whoever's leading the division. But nature of the beast. So, our next one is my boys, my Habbies, my Montreal Canadiens against the Detroit Red Wings. So, we have Settlers of Quebec against the thing about the Red Wings logo is I've never really understood it. Like, it's a tire with a wing. Hold on. Let's investigate this a bit.
Was it like Red Wing boots?
I'm gonna look up the mascot.
Wait,
because
where's...
I know they also throw octopi.
Huh?
Yeah, so one of the things with Detroit is, like, in the middle of game, like, or maybe it's squid. No, I think it's octopus. Hold on, bear with me. Octopus? Legend of the Octopus. Hold on, brief side story for those that don't know. Legend of the Octopus is a sports tradition during Detroit Red Wings games that involved throwing dead octopi onto the ice rink. The origin dates back to the 1952 playoffs, where the team played a 2 best-of-7 series to capture the Stanley Cup. So you needed 8 wins to win the cup back then. So they threw octopi because of the 8 legs. All right, but what we need to know is their mascot, because I don't know. It's Al the Octopus. So we have octopi against people from Quebec.
So it's octopi?
It's octopi.
So what's the wing thing? Wait, so where is this team
Detroit.
from?
Detroit.
Oh, so Michigan. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then. Because the Red Wing Boots is Minnesota, so never mind.
Yeah.
So
So
octopus versus
just a person.
a person on ice. Yeah, the person's win.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
like if we in water, maybe.
It's a really boring game, but the Habs are moving on. All right, so
they're gonna have a good dinner.
Speaking of good dinners, we now have the Ottawa Senators. So again, just people against the Florida Panthers. So I don't know about you, but this seems pretty clear the Panthers are going to move on,
especially with doughy Senators. Like,
so like I think the implication is this is like Roman Senators, so like slightly more like kind of like guys from 300, but still against Panthers.
Yeah, but to be
ice.
fair, like they're Europe, and Europe didn't have any actual animal predators. True. Right? Like they had no fucking bears. They had no crazy ass mountain cats. They had no like none of that shit.
Yeah.
They like.
No, it's very true.
They would lose to a pack of dogs.
All right, and now here's where I'm going to get myself canceled from my beloved fan base.
Oh.
We have the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay, anybody that has just Google a lightning striking a tree and tell me who wins. Now, when you think of that, you think how the tree did a good fight. Think of the millions of leaves. How much leaves got burned in that one strike?
So this is kind of like we're in another San Diego Chargers scenario, right? Because it's a lightning bolt. But to be fair, just so that we're crossing all our T's and dotting all our I's, the Maple Leafs mascot is a polar bear.
Ooh.
But still, like, against lightning.
So it's a polar bear. Here's the thing. Can a polar bear survive a lightning strike?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man, because haven't humans survived lightning strikes?
But 6 of them? Against 6 of them?
So we just need one bear to survive.
But the other thing is, that was our logic last time, wasn't it?
Yep. And I stand by that logic. We have a layer of insulation. We got blubber.
All right. Let's look it up. Polar bear lightning strike survival odds. This is good research we're doing. We're doing God's work.
Yep. Look, about 90% of lightning strike victims in humans survive.
That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. Shit.
Polar bears look, if a doughy ass fucking little bitch human can survive lightning strike 9 out of 10 times, then polar bears, all them polar bears are living.
Yeah. All right. Maple Leafs move on.
Look at that.
Maple Leafs.
Look at that. You didn't get canceled by your own people and your own people.
Oh man. I'm still just having a really hard time seeing how I'm kind of like preemptively looking at the 2 divisions that we skipped. And I don't know how anyone beats your boys. How do you beat a Star?
It's not happening.
Now the other thing is I have been making the error of kind of just not using the actual mascot sometimes. Because, like, I don't think there's a person dressed as a star.
It's fair. What is a star mascot?
I'm looking. It's a green alien. Oh, I love him. His name is Victor E. Green, and he looks kind of like Alf. But we already did what we did. No take-backsies. This is what happens when it's Bears After Dark 3 Bears Deep.
That's true.
Stars are moving on, whether they're aliens or not. Don't be a bigot.
Oh wow, he's interesting looking. That's definitely not what I expected.
Right.
His motherfucker looks like Alf. Two bears. You just watched a clip from the 2B podcast, or the 2 Bears Two Beers Podcast. So, if you like what you saw, you can watch the whole episode here on YouTube or Rumble. When you do, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you don't want to see our ugly mugs, but you want to listen to our velvety voices, you can on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platform. If you go there, make sure to leave a 5-star review, and we'll love you forever. Not too much to where it's weird, but just enough to where you'll come back for more.